Hi, I'm James Lynch, and welcome to this Perceptive Readers. Recently, I received more news, or good news, that there are new people, or should I say, young minds who have started listening to the Perceptive Readers. And so you're in that age where, no, you're not a child anymore, but you're not over the age of, once again, being an adult either, and I guess you could say that. Well, you're in your teenage years. So I would like to share something with you that I normally read at least once a year or every 2 years. Well, either way, I want to read something to you, and think about this. You know, we always say you never know who you are talking to all the time or who might be able to help you. And so, even though we should always be kind and gracious, you see, when dealing with others, this is an extra incentive to do it even more fully. Why? Have you ever had the opportunity to actually watch one of those nature shows? And sometimes they tag an animal, whether it's a lion or some other type of animal, even in the sea, like a dolphin or what have you. And they can go a whole year, quite possibly even longer. I just can't think of one off the top of my head right now because I never really remember the title of such shows. I just remember I've seen those type of documentaries over the years. And so with that, it's like even though a long period of time have gone by, those animals don't forget those persons who befriended them or was, feeding them or was raised them or was very nice to them. Do you see that for yourself? Have you had an opportunity to actually look at one of those documentaries? Well, with that knowledge beforehand, now I would like to read you something from Aesop Fables. And well, maybe you've heard or you heard some of them, that I actually read some of these stories from time to time. Some of them are morals, they have a moral to the story or something that will really help you in life, whether it was a fictional account between animals talking to one another or not. But you can always really see how you can learn something from it as well, in a fun way, in an imaginative way as well. So let me read this one called The Slave and the Lion. A slave ran away from his master, by whom he had been most cruelly treated, and, in order to avoid capture, betook himself into the desert. As he wandered about in search of food and shelter, he came to a cave, which he entered and found to be unoccupied. Really, however, it was a lion's den, and almost immediately, to the horror of the wretched fugitive, the lion himself appeared. The man gave himself up for lost, but to his utter astonishment, the lion, instead of springing upon him and devouring him, came and fawned upon him, at the same time whining and lifting up his paw. Observing it to be much swollen and inflamed, he examined it and found a large thorn embedded in the ball of the foot. He accordingly removed it and dressed the wound as well as he could, and in the course of time it healed up completely. The lion's gratitude was unbounded. He looked upon the man as his friend, and as they shared the cave for some time together, a day came, however, when the slave began to long for the society of his fellow men, and he bade farewell to the lion and returned to the town. Here he was presently recognized and carried off in chains to his former master, who resolved to make an example of him. and ordered that he should be thrown to the beasts at the next public spectacle in the theater. On the fatal day, the beasts were loosed into the arena, and among the rest a lion of huge bulk and ferocious aspect. And then the wretched slave was cast in among them. What was the amazement of the spectators when the lion, after one glance, bounded up to him and lay down at his feet with every expression of affection and delight. It was his old friend of the cave. The audience clamored that the slave's life should be spared, and the governor of the town, marveling at such gratitude and fidelity in a beast, decreed that both should receive their liberty. In other words, they both were set free. Isn't this a nice story? Remember, no matter who you run into or pass by, you may not always get into a long conversation with them, but a smile or a wave can go a long way. You never know what may happen in the future, you see, to that very person that you were kind to, what they may end up doing in reciprocation. Not that we do things to get anything in return, but eventually, the good things that do matter, they will come back. They come back sometimes fast, sometimes in the course of time. But all the same, keep doing the best you can to be kind and have that smile on your face.